Hey guys, we just completed case 1 of chapter 4. The next thing we're going to do is move to case 2 of chapter 4. And to start that, I'm back here at the dashboard, and the first thing I need to do is change the name. So the terms didn't change. None of the way we did inventory changed. So I just need to change the name. I'm just going to click right here, and it's going to take me right to the company name. And if I click on this little pencil, oh no, I was hoping it was just going to change the 0 or the 1 to a 2. But it looks like it's going to be case 02 and the student's name. And save. All right. Once I get that, I can hit the X to exit out. And I'm back to case 2. So the instructions for case 2 says add some operating activities, sales and cash receipts to your company based on what you learned in the text, and using the sample company, you are to add the following transactions. So these are the same things that we did in case 1. So if you haven't already, make sure you do your test drive. Your test drive will really walk you through step by step how to do this in an environment that if you make a mistake, it's no big deal. When you do it in your own QuickBooks, if you make a mistake, it is a little bit of a big deal because it's not going to be easily fixed. So though these videos are pretty thorough and you probably feel like you could do the assignment just by following through, make sure you're doing that test drive. Not only is it something that you submit for a grade, but it's really good practice and a place for you to be able to make mistakes. All right, so enough of that. Number 1 says add a new customer. So to add a new customer, I'm going to go to Sales, Customers, New Customer, and the first name is going to be Hagen Toys. So it doesn't have a name. It's just going to be a company. So I'm just going to go down here to company, and I'm going to type in Hagen's Toys. All right, and the display name is going to be Hagen's Toys. The address is going to be 3983 Torrey Pines. And what would you know? La Jolla, California. Zip code 92039. All right. Does it give me anything else? No, it does not. So then I click save, and there you go. I have the customer added. Step 2 says add a new service, custom painting at a rate of $45, income account as services. So I'm going to go to sales and products and services, then new and service. The name is custom painting, and it is not taxable. The rate was $45, and the income account is not sales, it is service. So custom painting, yep, rate of $45, income account is service, it is not taxable, and we can save and close. Number 3 says add 2 new products with quantities tracked. So a Go aircraft radio is the first one. So I go to new, inventory, and it's called Go aircraft radio. And my initial quantity on hand, 0. As of 1/1/2019, learn this from last time, 01-01-19, 2019. No errors that time. All right, the price is $4,999. $4,999. The cost is $2,500. Scroll down. Cost $2,500. Income account is sales. Income account sales. And the cost of goods sold is the expense account. Cost of goods sold is already there. All right, so that's the first product. Now, here's the question. Is it taxable or is it not taxable? So in case 2 of chapter 3, it was not taxable. The only thing taxable became in case 3. So I'm taking this off. We have 0 quantity on hand. We got the name right. Go aircraft radio. We have the date as of the quantity. It's an inventory to asset. Sales price goes to sales. 2,500 goes to cost of goods sold. Save and close. Now the next new one is going to be a Taylor 22cc. New inventory item. Taylor 22cc. Yep, initial quantity on hand is 0 as of 1/1/2019. 01/01/2019. Look, I'm learning. And the sales price is $2,999. And the cost of goods sold is $1,500. And the income account is sales. Income sales. Expense account is cost of goods sold, not taxable. Make that determination now, because if you make a mistake, then you have to try to either one, write off taxes, which you're going to have an extra transaction on your reports if you do that. 2 extra transactions, actually, the tax and then the reversal of the tax. And you don't want to have to do that. So we have the product name, Taylor 22cc. And we have the inventory as of date, the sales price, the cost, the income account, and the expense account. Not taxed. And we can save and close. Now, if you notice, every time I've saved the last couple of items, it increases this out of stock. And it's out of stock because the quantity on hand is 0. And it puts it in red over here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a red 0. All right, so moving on to number 4, says record a new sales receipt on 1/3/19. Customer is Benson RC. So to do a sales receipt, this little plus sign right here, and it is going to be a sales receipt, and we are off to the races. So is as of 1/3/19. So I'm going to click here, 1/3/19. Benson RC, drop down menu under the customer, Benson RC. Payment method, credit card. Payment method, credit card. Reference number. This is where you put the authorization number if it was a true credit card. 16756. And deposit to undeposited funds. Undeposited funds. Product was a Brune. And there's 3 of them. Product. Drop down menu. Brune. Quantity. 3. $4,500, no tax. So we got the customer name, we got the date of the sales receipt, the payment method, the reference number, the deposit to, the product or service, and the quantity. Everything else is given to us. We don't save and send because we don't have an email address. All right. Number 5 says record a new invoice on 1/4/19. So we're going to exit out of here. New invoice, we go to this plus button. And it's an invoice under customer right here. And 1/4/19 is the date, invoice date. Change this to a 4, 1/4/19. And the customer is Hagen's Toys. Drop down customer, Hagen Toys. Term is net 30. Drop down on the terms, net 30. The service is custom painting of 5. That's the first one. Custom painting, 5. Now this would be all by the hour. Custom painting would be charged by the hour, 5 hours of custom painting. And the product was the Sea carbon sailboat. And it looks like one of those. Product. Scroll down. Sea carbon sailboat, 1. So I have a total quantity of $1,425, no tax for either one of these. The invoice date is 1/4/2019. Terms is net 30, so the due date would be 30 days after that, which is 2/3/2019. Now, if you're asking or if you're questioning whether what happens if it's 31 days of the month or 29 days of the month, the due date for terms net 30 generally will always be the day before this one, the following month. So this is the 4th, it'll be due the 3rd, the following month. All right. So we're good to save. Number 6, in case 2, says record a new cash payment received on 1/7/19. So exit out. Plus sign. You can call it plus sign. You can call it the create tab, whatever you want to call it. I like to call it the plus sign because everybody knows what that is. If you say click the create button, they're looking all over for a button that says create. Record new cash payment received. So receive payment would be a payment received. I'm going to click receive payment. And it's going to be 1/7/19 is the date. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there so I don't forget. 1/17. 1-17. There we go. And custom is Benson RC. Benson RC is the one paying. And he's paying with a check. Reference number is 9847. That would be the check number. And deposit to undeposited funds in the amount of $925. So here's the amount again. We can put $925 here, but if they're going to short pay, we would definitely put the amount here. But if they're paying the whole thing, we just click right there. Puts it all in for us, and we can go ahead and click Save and New. We can exit out because we're done with receiving payments, I think. The next one, number 7, says record a deposit made on 1/7/19. So plus sign, create sign. Deposits are under other, bank deposit. And 1/7/19. 1/7/19 is the date. 1/7/19. Now here, I think I just made a mistake. The record the new cash payment was supposed to be on 1/7/19, not 1/17. So I'm going to exit out of this real quick, and I'm going to fix my mistake. So it was a new cash payment received. So I'm going to go and see if I can't find it in See, the best place for me to look is going to be, I can go to reports and I can look at the journal and I can find it that way. But I would rather just find it in, I don't know if it's going to show me my last payments received. Yes, it will. So if I go into payment received, I just click on this little button right here, this little time clock. And it takes me back to my last couple of transactions. This one for $925. Now, this should be a 7, not 17. So I'm just going to click on it, edit it to 1/7/19. And I'm going to save. The transaction you're editing is linked to others. Are you sure you want to modify it? Yes. And so now it's saved. So now whenever I go to do a deposit on 1/7/19, plus sign, bank deposit, 1/7/19, checking account 1 is where I'm going to deposit. Checking account 1 is selected. Benson RC. So it's Benson RC. Well, there's 2 of them. Which one's it going to be? Received for $4,500. Now, here's where I can check. This is Benson's RC. This is the payment that I just did for $925. And it has the correct date now. So I'm good to go. But I'm selecting the one for 4,500. That's this top one that they're going to pay on. And it's related to sales receipts. And that's the type, sales receipt. All right, so this is what I'm going to deposit. So I have my checking account, my date selected, my the payments that I want to deposit, which is just this one. And if I would have something other than one of these payments to deposit, like it could be anything that's not on here, I could add it down here. Received from the account, that kind of thing, and we post it to those accounts as well. But these were things that were either invoice or I took a sales payment for. So this is where we're using it. You'll see in later chapters, we start adding stuff down here. But 4,500 is the total. We can click Save and New. And it gave me a new one. I don't necessarily need it, so I'm going to exit out. So step 8 says prepare the trial balance report, yada, 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 which means you're done and you're ready to submit your reports for grading. Again, to submit our reports, we're going to go to Reports. We are going to go down to the trial balance, do it first. I like on the trial balance because it gives you a good telltale if you're close or not. If you're spot on with that, you're probably good to go. The report's going to be a custom report. This is case 2, so it's going to be 12/31/18 to 12/30/19. Yep, 12/30/19. Run report. And here it gives me my total transactions. So my balance sheet should be 111,340 if I did everything right. Now I'm making mistakes too, so if you get something that's different, you want to challenge me, by all means, shoot me a text message or email or give me a phone call. I'd love to hear it. Here are some things to point out. This is case 2, but it's still going to show case 1 data as well. Like we talked about in case 1, as you go to case 2 and case 3, it just kind of adds on itself. So here's checking account 1, checking account 2, case 2. So, I mean, you can see both of these are on the trial balance. So if these numbers are right, if you get these same numbers, then you're good to go, especially for these accounts. Just because the numbers are right don't mean that the accounts are right. So make sure that they're for these specific accounts. Like the total checking accounts equal the same amount these 2 checking accounts equal. And your total accounts receivable equals what mine does. And your total furniture and fixtures depreciation equals what mine does. Your notes payable altogether equal what mine do altogether. Stuff like that. If you're good to go, you can export as a PDF. And I want to save it. And I'm going to go back here, make it larger. And actually, you don't need it that large. For you to see it better. You probably see it better if it was like this. All right, so I'm going to stay on here for a second for you guys to check your case 2 trial balance for chapter 4. All right, good to go. So if that was good, or if that was off, actually, let me tell you, put it that way, then you're really going to look at your detailed transaction report hard. We're going to do it next. Even if this is right, you're still going to go to your detailed transaction report by account, transaction detail by account, because that's the next thing you have to submit for grading. The beginning date, this is a custom again, and it is going to be 12/31/18 to 12/30/19. Now, the good thing about this report is when you run it, it's only going to show you transactions that you did for case 2. So no case 1 transactions should show up on here. That's the beauty of the transaction by detail account. So if you're looking for a mistake in case 2, you pull this report up and you're only getting those transactions for case 2. So this is what I have. I'm going to export it as a PDF. The instructions for the course, I think, tell you to do it as an Excel, but that just takes a lot more time and can be finicky. So do it as a PDF. Do it in portrait mode, and it'll be good as rain. I'm going to save this PDF. There it goes. And I'm going to make it large for you guys to be able to see. So there's 2 pages of this one. I'm going to save it here for a second, and then I will change it over so you guys can see the second page. So you can use this to compare with what you have. And again, if I made a mistake on here somewhere, call me out on it. Let me get it fixed so that we can be right. All right, so page 2, a little bit more transactions. Now, granted, yours might not show up in the same order that mine shows up in, but it should show up on the report at the end of the day. So my total cost of goods sold is the very last thing on here. Maybe yours isn't the last thing. Maybe yours is up here where total operating balance, or total for opening balance equity is. Or maybe your total sales is on the first page, not the last page. That's okay. The balances just need to be the same in each of the accounts. So whenever I grade yours, what I literally do is I compare, I put yours on one screen and mine on the other screen, and I go account to account. And if it's missing on yours, then I'll put a red dot and put what's missing. If it's there, or if it's wrong, I'll put a red dot and put what's wrong. If you don't have any red dots on it, you're not going to have anything wrong with it. But I'll put the red dots on the annotation. So, and I'll put in the comments, what it should be or where it's off or what you should check, because you're going to want to fix those before you start doing anything else. Because once you have one error, it's just going to add on to itself. But so you've had plenty of time for that. Zoom in. I don't know if you can have a problem seeing it, but you can pause it there for the second page. And then for the first page, this is the top half. And then this is the bottom half. All right, guys, hope that's helpful. That's the end of case 2. Make sure when you get them done, you submit them, and reach out if you have any questions.